What's going on, Garage Gang? Matt from GarageMC here, guys. We're in video 4, day 4 of the 350X video a day build. That was a mouthful. Let's get right on into it. Stay tuned. So here we are, day 4, and I'm already second guessing what the hell was I thinking doing this video a day thing. It is, it's getting a little insane. I've been doing a lot of the little stuff that really isn't video worthy, like off camera, such as taking the radiator and a pick and some tweezers and going through all the fins that look like this and kind of making them look like that. You know what I mean? Once that's painted flat black again, it's gonna look good. So that's taken care of. I started swapping the headlight assembly out, but it couldn't just be that simple because that wouldn't be me. So, you know, we took the headlights completely apart, all the gaskets apart off of them. They looked like this. Now they look like this. All the rubbers got soaked in Armor All, and even the little screw and spring here, yes. I'm pretty sure I'm losing my mind, but even the spring got sandblasted and recoated. Yeah, I really did that. You know, who's gonna say it? No, but well, you guys and me are gonna know about it, but other than that, nobody's even going to notice. But, you know, looks a little better than having a piece of rusty metal in there, you know what I mean? And yes, that was the OEM spring. I didn't just put a Harbor Freight spring assortment box like those cotter pins in there. Speaking of, new cotter pin up at the top too. I got LED bulbs going in these, so gonna look pretty damn good. So I'm just getting that taken care of. When you switch to the Meyer headlight bezel, you guys can notice a few differences here. Like, see these little pockets there? Those are where the rubbers, which are also armor-alled and vapor blasted and ready to go, they have these little pins that hold them in. Now, you're supposed to cut these pins because you can't really push them out through the hole. Well, I figured out a little trick to save them. So I would like to rather have these than what Meyer supplies you with and have these zinc bolts holding the headlight rubbers in, but they got the holes drilled out so huge that you can't. But I'm trying to think of what I could do to take care of that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because like I said, I'd like to have the OEM, you know, pins in there, not, you know, zinc covered bolts on the side of the headlight. Anyway, none of that stuff has anything to do with today's video. I'm making a decision between either getting the shock disassembled, vapor blasted, and powder coat the spring, or do the swing arm today. We're having a little issue with the swing arm though. I lost the rotor hub and rotor for the 350X. You know, it's somewhere here, but either way, I still got to powder coat the swing arm. We'll save the swing arm for the next video, but in today's video, let's go ahead and do this rear shock, like I was just saying. This thing is, if I can pick it up out of here, it'd be great. Well, one thing it is definitely heavy. Yeah, wouldn't be normal if shit didn't just get tangled the hell up and everything, right? Alright, so still got our OEM yellow paint mark on there. I'm going to probably compress this spring, start pulling this thing apart. Like I said, we will vapor blast the body, the hose, the reservoir. We got to take all these stickers off because we got replacements from BlueLineDecals.com. So before I start disassembling this shock, what do we got to do here? I want to take a picture of exactly how these original stickers are on there, because we got from BlueLineDecals.com. We have our replacement Showa or Showa sticker, however you want to say it, depending on what state you're from. To me, it looks like Showa or Showa, I guess. Whatever. You knew what I meant. But we got our sticker for there, so we got to get the orientation and where that's lined up with. Looks like it goes in the center of this sticker, and you can see from the factory they're not perfectly square. I, however, will put it on there as square as I can. But we have that sticker as well, same size, everything, down to every word, letter, everything is perfect. And the BlueLineDecals.com reproduction graphics for these bikes, or any of their bikes, it has the factory like chrome, kind of like that little extra sticker that's on there that tells you which sticker goes to which shock. You know, because they got their part number on the bottom of them. So want to make sure that's right. HA5003 on the Showa, whatever. So, all right, take a picture of this, and then I'm going to put this thing in the soft jaws, and hopefully we can get those 2 rings cracked. If not, I did finally get a set of spring compressors that are for ATVs. So I spared you guys the part of watching me struggle getting these rings off. I didn't use my spring compressor. I used a spanner wrench. Same thing like with an axle nut. I always clean the threads out very good with a brass wire brush, or you can use a wire wheel and a drill. Just clean out the threads and then shoot a little PB blaster on there, and it comes off a lot easier, obviously, if there's not a bunch of stuff stuck in the threads. So we're going to get both of these rings backed off as much as we can. See if I can keep you guys in the shot here. And there's really, I'm not like rebuilding the shock. The shock actually works very well. Tested it out when it was on the bike still, like by jumping up and down on it and everything. It's good enough for what we're doing right now. So once you get this lowered enough, this being the top of the shock, this is the bottom. If you guys want to know how to actually fully disassemble and rebuild one of these, check out Preston Fraser's video, This Old Trike YouTube channel, at This Old Trike. He went to, I believe, Pat Farnham's house, and they disassembled one and pulled everything apart. There's quite a few pieces, but once you get that down, see how this is on here. Let me grab a little small hammer, one right here. There's a C-clip, well, a clip that's in the shape of a C. If it will let me take it out, obviously. Bear with me, fellas. This is your, I want to call it a retaining clip. So there's 2 sides to this thing. You got a sharp edge, which faces the ground, and then the beveled edge goes into this cup. I'll show you guys this cup here in a second. So once you remove that, it allows you to take this off. This is the cup that the spring sits in. And then you can pull your spring off. Our bump stop is still in very, very nice shape. These are usually deteriorated and gone, or all just crunchy and disgusting. So we're looking like we're in good shape. So I don't know if it'll allow me to take these rings off. I don't think these will slide past there, but I'm going to try off camera. So next time you guys see this spring, I'm going to fully sandblast this, and then I will load the blue that I'm going to use in the powder gun, and I'll show it to you after it's sandblasted and after it's powder coated. Obviously you'll see it, but take a good look at this shock the way it is right now, because it is going to look brand new very soon. I'm going to take apart as much as I can, tape off what I don't want to vapor blast and or sandblast, and I'm going to get these stickers off. Some you guys can use to take stickers like that off without damaging the aluminum. They sell those little nylon bristle, like circular bits that you can put in like an angle grinder or die grinder or even in a drill. Those, however, will chew the aluminum up. So this is a tool that you would find in a body shop. This is nothing but a big pencil eraser. It goes in the drill. It will just chew the sticker away and not damage anything. It's meant to take pinstriping off of car paint. So that should tell you it does not damage even car paint. So I'm sure if you hold it there long enough, friction and heat will, but as far as what we're doing, no damage. I'm about to start sandblasting the spring, but we got this thing all... This is just sandblasted at the moment. So I'm about to throw this in the vapor blaster, and then we'll have this section done. And I'm also going to do something with these rings as well. I got a little trick that I do for that. So, alright, I'm going to vapor blast this. When this is done, I'll let it come out and I'll rinse it off and let it dry. And then I got to start sandblasting that spring. It really sucks sandblasting springs. It's just, you know, it's a circular thing with a bunch of tubes, and it'll come in and out of the sandblaster 3 times, and I'll probably still miss a spot. So really excited to do that. That's kind of why I've been like holding off doing this. I could have had this shock done 2 months ago, but anyway, let's get it. All right, man, we got the spring almost sandblasted. I got the body to the shock. That's all done. It looks actually pretty damn good. I'll show that to you guys here in a second. So I'm gonna swap over the gun to the blue powder that I'm gonna use for the spring, and I'm gonna spray it and bake it in the morning. I tried to do this all in one day, man. This was just, between that and all the other stuff that I was doing, what else did I do? I did the straightened out the fins on the oil cooler, and then I also disassembled the screen that goes in front of it and powder coated that mirror gloss black earlier today. Put new hardware in it. You know, this bike's gonna be sick, man. It's really gonna be sick. There's a ton of work going into this thing, guys. But here's the shock body. Here's how this came out. Obviously, this spring, I got to do something with this. I can sit there and uncoil this whole spring, and I probably will, honestly. I might sit out here and do that in a little bit, but I'm like, look at my arms and stuff, guys. I am filthy. I'm soaked in sweat. So I'm gonna clean up a little bit. I'll set up the gun for powder in the morning. I mean, you guys will still see this in this video. You know, I'm just being honest that it's not, day 4 isn't just day 4. Like, it's gonna be day 4 and the tomorrow morning. Oh, I also did the headlights too earlier. But anyway, all right, we'll pick back up in the morning, man, and we'll get the shock done, and we'll end this video. Video number 4, day 4, video 4, video a day build on the 350X. Yeah, I gotta come up with a better name for that, but we're already too far into it, so it's here to stay. Alrighty, it is the next morning. Got the powder coat gun ready. I gotta finish sandblasting that spring. Like I said, there's a couple spots that I still gotta get to. I went with royal blue for the spring. I think it's gonna look cool. Like I said, a twist of the factory colors. So let me finish sandblasting that, and I'll put you guys on a tripod. We'll spray the spring down, and then when it comes out, I'll show it to you, and we'll slap it back on, and we'll call this video number 4. We'll call that shit good. Alright, guys, so here we are out of the sandblaster. It's all soaked with acetone. I did not preheat this. These usually, the negative charge is usually pretty good. If we need to, I'll do 2 coats, but I don't think we're going to need to. So I'll set you guys up on the tripod, and let's coat this and slap it in the oven. Oh yeah, I think the royal blue was definitely the correct color to go with. Yeah, we might end up doing 2 coats on this, man. We'll see how it looks when it comes out, obviously. Yeah, we're gonna need 2 coats on this. This goes back to what I was saying when I was doing the hubs in the other video. The negative charge it doesn't let the powder go in tight spaces. It almost repels it like a force field around it. It's kind of weird, but it's alright. Once we get this thing nice and hot, it'll definitely stick to it everywhere. Alright, I had to put a second coat on it. It's still in the oven. It's going to come out in like another 5 minutes or so. Let's take a peek at it real quick and see how that blue looks now that it's flowed out. Come on, man. That's like OEM. The camera's not even doing it justice. It's a little bit darker than that, but definitely a good choice. Alright, we'll let that finish. And then let's get this rear shock put back together. We also got to put our blue line decals graphics on there too. Little details like that, man, really, you know, couple notches up, you know what I mean? And I'm also going to figure out what I'm going to do with this spring. I really don't feel like uncoiling this whole thing if I don't have another option, but I might just scuff it a little bit and take a chrome paint marker and just sit here and just spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it all the way down. Yeah, I know that sounds crazy, but you guys have seen me do dumb, crazy shit that nobody's gonna see anyway, but I don't know, just for my own enjoyment, I guess. Yeah. 2 coats of the royal blue. The pen is blue. Liar, liar. Good movie. Man, dude, that is looking mighty fine. Mighty fine, if I do say so myself. Alright, man. It's probably going to take a good hour for this thing to cool off. These springs really retain the heat, man. At thick steel, it was just at 380 degrees for, well, 10 minutes the first time, and then 15 more minutes. That's the recommended bake time on that Royal Blue. 15 minutes at 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Man, I wish the camera would pick this up better. It looks so good. Look at that gleaming. Gleaming. Alright, so while that spring is taking forever to cool off, which is going to be probably more than an hour, and then, you know, let the powder set up for a little bit, I'm thinking of what the hell I could possibly do with this spring, because that just doesn't look good enough. And then I'm like, well, I could either sit here with a paint marker and spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it and just get the outside of the spring, but what would look nice is brand new, you know, chrome style zinc on a spring. So then I started thinking, I have this extra line that's actually for a remote resi shock. So it looks like it's missing a spring already, huh? Yeah, I uncoiled that and I got it right here. So while that's drying, I am going to go ahead and take care of that. So I gotta take that one off and then coil that one on. Yeah, sweet. 45 minutes later, we got that old crusty rusty spring off of there and got the new one coiled on there. It's dirty from my hands, but I'll wipe that off for the thumbnail. It'll look nice and clean. So let's get into putting our spring cup and retainer back on and get this shock and this video, day 4, done. Alrighty, let's get our spring back on here. So you guys will notice you have tight coils down here, and then obviously the more spaced out coils. The tight coils always go to the top of the shock. We have it in the clamp or the vise upside down right now. So this is the top, this is the bottom, just like before. Everything here is all nice and recoated. I armor-alled the bump stop, cleaned up the knob. So we will slide our spring on, freshly powder coated and lovely, I might add. And nice and carefully. Alright, so there's that. Now we can take our spring cup. This is also recoated in a cast iron color, same as I did the rings and everything else here. So this goes in and fits inside the spring, just like a so. And then we have our retainer clip. I don't know if you guys remember, I told you this thing has a beveled edge on it, like that. The beveled edge faces up, so in this case it will face down because we're working upside down. But that just slides in between here like this. We'll put it just like that right there. All right. Go ahead and pick up on this, just like that there, and we'll start spinning our lock rings into place. Now I'm not going to set the preload on this yet. I will do it when it's back on the trike, and we'll be set, man. This thing is coming out pretty nice for a rush job. Well, somewhat of a rush job. Little update on the frame. Just got a message from the powder coater. There were so many coats of paint on that 350X frame, which is, you know, not unheard of, but they had to sandblast it, and then they had to dip it, and then after all that they found a little rot in the down by the right side foot peg, and another little spot. I'll put pictures of it here that they sent me. So it doesn't even have powder coat on it yet. It really sucks. Today's the 17th of July. Yeah. So they're probably going to have my frame for probably another week, at least. And then, and only then, we can start putting this bike together. So, I mean, I guess good in a way, because I still have a bunch of work to do, but I could be putting the front end on. Tomorrow we're doing the swing arm. We could have the swing arm on. I could pretty much get this thing into a roller. But anyway, alright. Just a little update on the frame for you. So, there's our second ring. And like I said, I will do the preload when we get to it. And that's it, man. Here we are. I put the Showa decal in the area it goes in, which is kind of weird because the clamp kind of covers some of it. So I just kept it square and a little bit off the edge. And then I saved this one to peel off with y'all. Yeah. Alright, we got one more thing to do to this. We got to put our bushing in the top of the shock up here, and also throw a zip tie through it so it doesn't fall out. But before we do that, I'm going to put a little bit of grease in this freshly vapor blasted little brass sleeve that's in there. You guys can kind of see it. It kind of looks like the bushings that you get with some Roll Design A-arms. So just gonna get some of this grease packed into those little diamonds that are in there, or diamond shaped indentations, whatever. Alright, I'll slide this puppy on in, spinning it while it's going in. Alright, man. I think we're styling, fellas. I think we're styling. Alright. Go ahead and throw our zip tie in here. This way we don't lose this thing, because it will slide out when you're not looking. And also, on the 350X, while I'm remembering, we need to put the linkage on the bottom of the shock, because there's no way to get to that bolt once it's in the bike. Not going to do this on camera with you, but the linkage is covered in dust because it's been sitting up in my rafters hanging for, God, I don't know, a few months now. So that's ready to go, and it's got the little up written on it, so you really can't mess it up. And there's also two washers. They're called thrust washers. You definitely want to put those back on. I ordered new ones. They should be here in a couple days. If you don't, it will actually pinch this section when you tighten the bolt down, and then you'll produce squeaks and stuff. But, you know, just to give you a little, just an idea of what it's going to look like. Goes in there like that. And I also, you can't get these bolts anymore. I think you can get one or two of them. That's it. So I ordered brand new bolts and all 3 nuts for the bolts for this too. So those will be fresh as well. So there is our shock. I don't know, man. You guys drop your comments and thoughts below and let me know. How did we do here, man? Even down to swapping that spring out. That was a task. That was definitely a task. But she's looking a hell of a lot better than it did when we first started. You know? If you guys remember what it looked like, here's a photo. Well, anyway, guys, that's it. Day 4 of the video a day build on the ATC350X. Day 4, video 4. Yes, this is the morning of the 5th day, but I told you guys that earlier. So now I'm gonna get started making day 5 video. We're gonna redo that swing arm. Little heads up on the swing arm. The way that the rear brake goes on there, you need a little hi-hat bushing that goes on here, and then another little bushing that goes in between that rod that connects to the mount that the brake caliper's on. So I have to make something for that. I have Delrin, I have aluminum, or I have a little other trick that I might try. Sometimes you could just look through a bunch of your scraps and you can find almost exactly what you're looking for, something that's going to work. But anyway, thank you guys for joining me in the garage today. I'll see you guys in day 5 video, which I said I'm going to start making right now. And yeah, that's it, man. Thanks for joining me in the garage. I'll see you next time. Peace!